Hello there. A warm welcome to Speak Clean. Over the years, there have been many who have joined the cleaning industry, but there are few who have left a mark for us to learn from. Today, let us meet a stalwart from the cleaning industry who has been born into, brought up with, and possibly breathes the values of cleaning and hygiene at every movement. Who took over the reins as early as 1987 and has been leading as the managing director and chairman of his company. He is an unmatched personality, effortlessly engaging, soft spoken, and who is a natural storyteller who leaves every conversation memorable. He is none other than Dr. JPS Bakshi, a leader, a mentor, and a person who believes in unwavering excellence. Very warm welcome, Dr. Bakshi, and thank you for joining us here in our studios today.
Thank you very much, Mona, for inviting me here today. And I'm so happy to be here.
You have not changed. You are the same I saw you in 2006.
I don't know in what sense, but yeah, some of the things have to remain same.
Huh.
But I have changed, and every day we are all changing.
No, but actually, a change that has happened is in terms of cleaning, in terms of what is happening in the world, what we have adapted, is something very novel and challenging too.
Yes.
Such when it comes to you, you are the same composed person, calm. Well, how is it that you have maintained this balance all these years?
I don't know. What I think, Mohana, is that since I have I'm juggling with two professions in my life. So my other profession, which is into healthcare, that is something which keeps me a little balanced. That keeps me grounded. So you can say probably I'm a little more composed uh, than as a businessman.
Okay, but when it comes to cleaning, yes, way back in 1987 when you started, you were using cleaning brooms, vacuums, and now it's like gobblers, robots. There has been a stark change. How have you been able to adapt to this change?
Ona, yes, as you rightly said that we started, the company which I'm representing as Lion Services started in 1987. But just let me take you back to 1968 when my mother was the one who started the cleaning business, and she was already a second generation entrepreneur into the cleaning industry.
Wow.
Uh, at that point of time, very surprisingly, I remember as a child, there were much better vacuum cleaners. Yes. And then somewhere down the line, we shifted from those vacuum cleaners, which were all coming to the country courtesy the lot of embassies who were using them. And then it be transfer, we migrated to brooms. And now we are rediscovering to robos.
Wow.
So this is something like a bell curve, I'll say.
Nice. I think those days vacuums were really large and
Yes.
and used to make a lot of noise.
Yes, that's very true. They were very big vacuum cleaners and very big, the scrubbing machines. And I remember the first Indian venture had a very, very huge single disc scrubbing machines.
Did you drive
Yeah.
them those days?
They were so difficult to handle. As a child. I still remember. But yes, I did try them.
So how did you feel riding these machines?
I think they're very fantastic and they were great. And now, as we know that unfortunately the reality is that we had to all the manufacturers or all the people, those who are trying to bring uh, the different machines to the country for the cleaning industry, they have to struggle with the price. So I'll say those machines used to be very robust and very rugged. And what we
Let's
have to
delve more as a child when you first touched those machines and you start running it. What was the feeling that time?
I remember very clearly in the very beginning that the deep cleaning used to happen in most of the clients which we were handling at that time on Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday used to be the the really the spring cleaning, every weekly
You
spring
were
cleaning.
looking forward to it always?
Yeah, no, in fact, I had to be there because my mother was out there. So I used to usually accompany her on many of the offices I still remember as a child. And yes, as and when I could lay my hand on vacuum cleaning or trying that how to further clean some area. So I used to experiment with that.
Did you ever think at that time that this is going to be your profession and this is what you're going to do in future?
Not really. To be very honest, I think I was very, very sure in the very beginning, when the time came that I want to be into medical profession, then into the business,
Okay.
and especially of the cleaning.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, that's
So
right.
this is two diverse professions. Where is a medical profession and where is a cleaning profession? So how did you make that choice?
Don't ask me that. Don't ask me, but I'll share with you, Mona. So from the time when I started my medical practice, I was very sure that I was not going to be doing anything to do with the cleaning industry, because I think I had seen it, and I had seen that how from a very very fine kind of a job to it became a kind of a commodity kind of a job. So I was very sure that I wanted to pursue my medical practice. And, it was very, very difficult for me to take that choice to re enter into the cleaning industry. Mona, to be very honest, I think what I remember, I can very clearly remember, in healthcare, you can see certain number of patients in a day. You can touch only certain number of patients, or you can heal certain number of patients in a day. I think the cleaning industry has tremendous potential to touch so many people in terms of the healthcare. So today, if you ask me, I will call cleaning industry as nothing but the preventive healthcare.
Lovely.
So that's how I convinced myself that I can only see certain number of people, in my practice, but doing a good cleaning, good from the cleaning perspective, I can probably touch so many lives, so many areas as a preventive healthcare. So that's how, Mona, I am also now into the second profession.
So you are running two parallel professions. What is the challenges that you face there?
The dilemma is that, as a physician, as a doctor, you have people value you more, people respect you more. But the moment you shift to the cleaning, people don't value you. People don't value the cleaning as nothing but extension of healthcare or a preventive aspect. I think there is a big, huge gap in this. I think that at least in our country, still cleaning is not still considered as a hygiene. It's
I would
still
agree with you. I have heard many of the service providers saying that even today it takes a lot of effort to, we are already speaking of Swachh Bharat and everything, and people are aware about it, but yet it needs a lot of convincing when it comes to, introducing professional cleaning in the client's offices. How do you think we're going to close this gap?
so cleaning today has become a necessity, but the cleaning at a level, which is not only aesthetics, but it is also from the point of view of hygiene, is something which is still missing. People are not really, we see that in offices, we see that on streets, we see it everywhere. We are cleaning, but we are not cleaning from the point of view that how our healthcare can be improved. So, for example, I'm sure if I take you to the street level cleaning, I'm sure we are all brooming our cities for more than 100 years. More than 100 years.
Right.
But do our cities look clean? No. So where is the missing link? What is What is it that we are not really able to understand? I think that's something which we need to focus on. And I think that's what even the client, even the people, those who are uh, outsourcing the job, they need to understand that what is their primary focus for outsourcing cleaning or doing the cleaning. So that's something, Mona, is something where the industry needs to work on, and we all need to focus on that.
Right. So, in your particular profession of cleaning, you have seen the highs and lows, especially when dealing with clients who have been a little hesitant to adopt all the practices today. Yet, Lion Services has moved from a housekeeping company to facility management and base management, been really successful. What is the secret behind this?
I think the secret lies in that you have to understand that what is the need of the hour. If I can just share with you that from the time when my mother started, I think cleaning had a certain way of being outsourced. No doubt that it was mostly the multinational companies, the international banks, who brought this concept of outsourcing the cleaning job. Before that, as we all know, that the office boy, office peon would work as a cleaner in the morning, and during the day he would serve the tea or coffee, give lunches, and maybe do some deep cleaning in the evening. So from that point, when the cleaning became a specialized outsourcing job, uh, to the time when the Indian corporates adopted outsourcing the cleaning. I think it was not for cleaning, it was for giving away their responsibilities or their own liabilities or their burden. The focus was never on that wow, now we want to take the cleaning to next level.
Right.
The idea was that, okay, how can we get rid of our liabilities? So let's call tenders, or let's call companies, and let them give the minimum prices or minimum costs to us.
I think that still continues.
It still continues. It will continue because we are not able to. We as an industry, if you ask me, we have failed. One area where we have failed is this area, that we have not been able to educate. We have not been able to come on a platform together. And in this scenario, as you asked me that how Lion Services changed from a cleaning company to facilities provider, and today, um, you know, though we are one of the oldest companies, we are not there too much into facilities. We have moved on to the city maintenance services, and now into public space management services. So this change has happened because of looking at that, where we as an organization, where we can bring value to the area we work on. So I think we were not really making great value proposition in terms of staying at one goal and growing in that. So that's what is our concept of moving on, changing, adapting to new ways.
How did you feel as a child when you held to that first vacuum cleaner and wanted to run it?
Wow, you're taking me back so many years ago. Uh, but I'll share with you that I still remember being in one corporate office. That was my first, memories of how the vacuum cleaner, and it was a red color large canister vacuum cleaner. I'm sure it was American. And the moment, I saw that how it sucks inside something. Amazing. I think I can't really forget the noise of sucking, the way, it was sucked inside. That was amazing. I think that was something which still, I can still recall that. And I'll share with you that how that in today's case, and in today's time, how that same, I'm trying to recreate that same noise in my ears,
Right.
So that's something which is I still remember. And yeah, it was that feeling, that how effective it is, how effectively something is really gobbled up, something goes inside. And then the idea was that how can we, this experience, how this experience can be transferred to other people. I still remember the same way, uh, showing some of the workers how to use the vacuum cleaner, and reach out to the areas where you are not able to uh, clean. That this was very interesting.
True, true. I think even today when we see people using the ride-on scrubber in airports, I mean the pride that they bear sitting on it, riding,
Of course.
it's a tremendous change that we are seeing. That's
Yes, yes. I think this is an empowerment. This is that moment. It is that tools which we give to our workers, which is the game changer.
absolutely,
It's a game changer.
absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of workers, that today I know India has been labeled as cheap labor always, and but if you see today, we are actually struggling to have skilled labor. We are having a huge dearth in getting that kind of manpower which can run the machines, who can understand technology, because cleaning itself has changed. So, how do you see, in today's scantiness of this kind of a labor? How are you managed?
Mona, again, I think you have again touched on a very, very important aspect of cleaning today. So the dilemma is that we are trying to provide services through someone who is probably not that educated, who is not coming with the concept of that why I'm doing this job. And we are trying to provide the services to someone who's educated, who's sitting in a corporate office. So there's a huge gap. There's a huge gap. But it is in cleaning industry. I'm sure it is in many other industries. And I think education, if I just and compare it with the medical field, even being a doctor, even after you have seen so many patients, even after you have practiced for so many years, you still have to be a part of continued medical education. So those CME programs are nothing but upskilling or exposing you to new technologies, to new tests, to new medicines. You know, so that is not something which is happening.
We actually don't have any course either.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
he can talk that he's a graduate in in cleaning or facility management in India.
That's right. That's right. Uh, People don't want to come into this field, and I think we have to be blamed for it. For example, somebody today you employ in the cleaning industry as a housekeeping staff. We are the client is just wants to pay you only minimum wages. They don't even want to pay you the other statutory benefits. And why not that person can earn more money being in a quick delivery platform, or they have other options. So we are going to have dearth of people coming into the cleaning industry in the future. And unfortunately, sorry if I extend this further, Mona, maybe we can see or robots cleaning overseas, but India is not ready for it. So I think we need to. This is some area where
Contradictory that's
yes,
happening, where we're talking of dirt of labor or skilled labor,
yeah,
and at the same time we are not adopting robots.
yeah,
It's too expensive. And there again, we have the clients looking at margins. No, we want to cut margins. We want to look. But this seems to be a never ending story.
that's very true. And the reason is simple. We are not able to see cleaning as a preventive healthcare. For example, if uh, we don't understand that why the cleaning is being done in an office, in a school, or in any other area. If the cleaning is done only for aesthetic purpose, it's a different story. But if the cleaning has to be done from healthcare point of view, thankfully, COVID told us, that how things have to happen. Okay. So, and the whole world went crazy. We were washing our roads. We were spraying everything in the air. Yeah, but yeah, on a serious note, Mona, I feel that our focus should be cleaning for health. That should be the focus, cleaning for health.
That's very beautifully put, actually. Going back to the journey, yes, you have now entered into IFM and waste management services. You have also diversified into manufacturing. You came up with a cute Gobbler and you now have multiple machines coming onto the floor. What is the need, or what inspired you to, jump into the other side?
When we started our first mechanized road sweeping project, the learnings were that our roads are built not to really clean through mechanized means. If we look at our roads, our curbs are very deep. Even a good mechanized road sweeper cannot really reach out those areas. What we call is that the rainwater channels.
Yes.
Yeah. And then abroad, if we see where there is a more adaptability of those machines and technologies, the footpaths are even. There is no grill on the corner, so that you can even reach out to the side footpath as well with the machine. So in the end, you can probably just sweep the streets or the roads, but your ROW, the area beyond your black top roads, that is always filled with litter. And then per se the agencies who outsource you in the city for those mechanical sweeping jobs, they feel that, oh my God, we have given you the mechanical sweeping job, and why the hell you have to put some other people onto the side cleaning, without realizing that the litter is there stuck on the footpath. There are no proper arrangements for dustbins. So our footpaths are the biggest challenges. Our green area beyond footpaths are the biggest challenges. And we struggled with this because then again we had to deploy a lot of manpower to clean those areas, which really contradicted the whole purpose of mechanization.
Absolutely.
So Mona, we were really looking for some solution onto this, and then we took clues from how internationally that is being happening, and then we created our first prototype machine as a litter picking machine, mechanized.
Okay.
But the challenge was that workers in our country, they are not, they don't walk. We as Indians, we really don't walk. We want all situation where we just get out of our car outside our homes. We don't want to walk. So the municipal workers also don't want to walk.
Oh, really?
And so we faced the challenge that here is a machine which picks up litter, but people don't want to use it beyond, maybe 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers. Okay. And then we looked at that, what should we do to, really make a better use of this equipment. And that's where we indigenized and we said, okay, let's put a ride-on come walk along litter picker. And that's how,
Yeah, I think
tried to
your
solve.
necessity of, every situation prompted you to get into making more and more machines.
Exactly. Exactly. I think, again, this is something which, you try to learn from your other profession, medical profession, that how do you solve the problem of the patient? How do you bring relief to the patient? And you do one test, and then you feel okay, still it is not showing the full spectrum, and then you want to go into another thing, and then you want to try one set of medication. And I think same thing what we did here. We said, okay, let's look at how can we further improve, how can we further improve on the things. So this is what.
I think out of necessity, every time you had evolved a machine which met your requirements. So what else does your Gobbler do?
So Gobbler, as the name suggests, it practically gobbles everything.
My God, how did you get? Is that why you chose that name?
I think the name was because of what we were trying to solve.
Right.
So we wanted all the litter to be banished. We wanted all the litter to be gobbled up. So that's how the name Gobbler. So Gobbler is from that perspective.
Okay.
It can gobble up all the litter on the street. And on the footpaths, it can go into green areas, it can go into uneven surfaces, it can go on slopes, and you can just ride on or you can walk along as per the requirement. And yes, it does a fantastic job. And if you remember, we just talked about what was my feeling for the first time. So when I heard that sound of something going inside the vacuum pipe, I think Gobbler creates that effect for me, And every time, if it is a plastic bottle or if it is a glass bottle, it zips in, and that creates my memory.
That's
So
lovely.
that's something which I like, and I really want to be near it all the time. I wish I could do that.
It's quite interesting concept, and I think it must be useful in various other industries, not just the streets.
Yes, since you rightly said, since it is powered by lithium ion, so it can work inside, it can work outside, it can work on airports, it can work on municipal roads, it can work on all the public space areas, and inside the production halls, where you can't have any other equipment to pick up these spillages or to pick up dry material recovery. Also, it can work in all those areas.
Okay. Right. A very important question.
Mm-hmm.
You are a legend. You are carrying a legacy from mother to you. And I know your sons have chosen different profession. Who's going to be your successor?
This is one question comes to me from various aspects, that who takes it on, or what is the succession planning, and who's going to take the legacy on. First thing is that I wanted my sons to do what they felt was important for them, and by God's grace, they are doing well. They are educated well, and then they are both into their own fields. Mona, for me, it is important is that legacy is not really through generation. Legacy is through somebody who sees your vision. Honestly, I believe in that, and trust me, in whatever I do, I try to create leaders in that company or leaders in that organization who can see, who can vibrate with the same vision, who can understand that what is important. And not everyone does that. Not everyone vibrates at the same frequency, but then there are few chosen ones who can see your vision, who get aligned with that. And that's where the legacy continues. And I'm very lucky. I must say, I'm very lucky that in whatever I'm doing, whether it is in healthcare, whether it is in screening, whether it is in equipments, everywhere I have people, those who can, vibrate with the same concept, with the same thought. And they are the future leaders for us.
Love. That's a very beautiful talk. And
Thank you.
your explanation of the legacy that is going to move from one hand to another, need not be the same families. Talking about vision, talking about the future, the company that you started. If you talk about it, what does it contribute to India? How do you see India 10 years after, 50 years after? What is your vision of India?
I think what I understand, Mona, is that today cleaning is a necessity. It is a necessity, as I said earlier, because government or municipal corporations or corporates, they want to outsource, not necessarily for improvement, but for giving their own pain areas to someone else. We need to just, all of us, the industry needs to add into this the concept of why we are doing this and how can we just, by changing few of the dynamics, how can we bring in more value addition? As I said, we are cleaning, but can we clean for health? We are in the cities, we are doing the job, we are sweeping. Can we do it from the point of view of controlling pollution? Can we reduce the PM10, PM2.5s? Can we create our cities which are more aesthetically appealing? Can we create our roads which are more safer? So if apart from just doing the basic job, if we can bring this angle to it, if we can merge these two concepts together, then our future is great. Then the cleaning industry's future is great in our country. We are a booming economy. We have all the right things in our country going right now. The vision of the government is very clear. Only thing is we all need to come together and really work in that direction. So 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, we can become as clean as any other advanced country in the world.
Great. That's great. Let's move forward to some interesting questions. Rapid fire.
Wow. Okay.
What would be the one cleaning myth that you would like to debunk?
I think the one which comes to my mind is that the dirtiest place is the toilet seat.
There's more dirtier places?
Many. I think even the wiper which we use on our kitchen counter could be the dirtiest. Our chopping board could be the dirtiest. So, yeah, I'll say that.
Describe your leadership in one word.
Empathy. I think that's what usually I have heard, that I can very easily get myself into the other's shoe.
One thing that you would like to do which keeps you grounded the whole day?
See my patients every day. Yes.
Who's your favorite leader?
That's really a difficult one because there are so many great people. But I think I'm very impressed by the legacy of Ratan Tata.
If you had to choose between becoming a doctor and running a housekeeping company, which would you choose?
So today I'm doing both. Maybe 20 years ago, I was very clear to be a doctor, but now I think both go hand in hand. So
no, you have to choose one.
I think healthcare.
When do you want to retire?
Honestly, I don't think I can retire ever. If I'm not doing the business, I'll be seeing my patients. So I don't want to retire.
Okay. Complicated question. What if you see a client unloading his stress on one of your workers? What would you do first?
One way is because you want to retain client. So you join the gang. So you try to also pass on the buck on to your worker. But I think here most important, this is my personal understanding, that again, my hat changes and I always try to get into the shoe of why the client was doing this. Whether there's a problem at his end, whether he's going through stress, or he was genuinely, shouting at the worker because of something which the worker didn't do well. So The answer to this, Mona, would be at that point of time, cool off, try to look at both the aspects, and then try to sensitize both the parties involved at some point of time, because that is important. Otherwise, this will keep happening again and again.
Okay. What if one of your workers had done a grave mistake? How would you react first?
So, as a human, first emotion would be to scold. I think, in my personal sense, that comes little
Very rare.
but I won't say that. People know that I have huge temper sometime, but the idea would be that I'll sugarcoat. I'll never, you know, I'll not blast my people.
So what is that one moment when you're being very happy?
There in one's life there are many instances on a personal level, but I'll try to quote on a professional level. I think when we created our first Gobbler, I think that was really a great and very proud and happy moment for us.
Great. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I'm sure all our viewers who are going to watch this are going to enjoy every moment of it. And as I said, speaking with him is a memorable moment. Thank you so much, Dr. Bakshi.
Thank you, Mohana, for inviting me here. It was really lovely. Very, very, thank you for making me remember all the moments of my life. And it was really special. Thank you so much.
Thank you.